Real estate. Gillian Cunningham is with the Gillian Cunningham Realty Group. She joins me in the studio to talk about probably my number one topic on this show outside of music and all the politics. So as we talked about before the show, I said, man, there's nothing that gets me more fired up than talking politics, but I'm staying away from it today. I want my heart rate to go down a little bit, but I do want to talk some real estate. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's talk. Are you native North Texas? Where are you from?
No, I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri.
That's right, Kansas City. You moved here how long ago?
I moved here actually about 20 years ago. So I've been here for quite some time, and I've seen this city really grow.
Now, we were talking before the show that you were in Frisco, and you lived in Frisco before there was anything, not even the mall that we're talking about.
That's right. That's right. The mall came into play in about September of 2000, and then all the other stores came in. So there was really nothing out there. It really just started to blow up around 2000, between 2000 to 2004, 2005.
So if you lived in Frisco and you wanted to go to the mall, you had to jump on that. What road was it? Was it Preston Road that took you to North Park? Or?
Well, yeah. If you wanted to go to the mall, you could go down the Dallas North Tollway. If you wanted to go down North Park Mall, but to go to Stonebriar, I mean, of course, you just come up, once they built it, you come across 121, which was a two-lane road. And now it's a toll road. So every road into Frisco seems like it's a toll road.
I don't even get me started on the toll roads. I don't even get me started.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. But real estate's, a lot of stuff's happening right now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's a very interesting time to be in real estate. I mean, for sellers, they're getting all kinds of money for their homes. It's depending on the price point that you're in. If you're buying a home up to about $350,000, it's a seller's market. And what that means is that there's a shortage of houses on the market, and so buyers are having to bid for properties in order to secure properties. And a few years ago, I was telling people that you could probably get a property for anywhere from $1,000 to maybe $10,000 over the asking price. But now people are actually having to spend $2,500 to $15,000 to $20,000 above the asking price, depending on where you are in the metroplex to secure a property.
Is there a part or an area that's hotter, if that's a word I can use, than other parts of the metroplex? I mean, is it like Collin County better than Dallas County? Or
Collin County is the place to be right
now.
Collin County and Frisco, when we speak of Collin County, and West Plano is really a very popular area. I mean, when you go above maybe 350,000, you're looking from 350 to maybe 600,000. You're talking about a balanced market. And so those houses are going a lot faster than what they were going before, but I mean, it's still a very challenging time. I just put a house on the market on Friday, and we had over 30 showings on Saturday. And so we had showings, and then we had an open house. We had a lot of people come out on Sunday, and it's just been a really crazy time in this marketplace in the Dallas area. Who's
buying these houses? Is it people that are moving up here internally, or is it outsiders? I know we hear all the Frisco talk and all that other stuff, but is that indeed what's driving this market?
Most of the buyers, I mean, we do have some move-up buyers, but most of the people are the natural migration of people coming into the Dallas area. But remember, too, we have Toyota that's bringing about 4,000 people in here. We've got Boeing, who just announced they're bringing their global services. And we have a lot of other companies, J.P. Morgan Chase, are all bringing their people here, and they have to have a place to stay. So if they can't get into a house, then they're going to be looking at apartments and things. But most people want to be in their own homes.
And I would say that when you talk about bringing people in, these are almost like really highly educated, like white-collar jobs. It's not bubble blue collars, what I like to call it. So they're paying.
Yes,
they've got the salary.
Yes,
they've got the earnings to pay for these houses, $350 and above.
Yes, and actually what we're finding is millennials. This is a very popular time for millennials. They're coming of age. They're getting into their 30s, and they're buying their first homes. And their first homes aren't $150,000 because most of those don't exist out there. They're spending $350,000, $400,000 to get into their first
Do they
home.
have the savings for that? Because I know we've talked about it's tough for millennials to put that down payment for a house.
Yes and no. Remember, a lot of millennials, they were underemployed, so they were staying with their parents, and they were saving a lot of money.
Darn it, that's what I should have done, Dave.
Right.
Should have moved back with mom and dad.
Yes, and so, yes, millennials are putting down money to move into houses.
Nice. Gillian Cunningham joining us on the show, talking about real estate. Okay, so we've got people coming in the market, and we talked before the show, what's better, to have a cash buyer or just someone who's been pre-approved? And you said cash, and I asked why, and your answer was?
Well, I work with both buyers and sellers, and I find that when I'm working with a seller, typically a seller would like to accept a cash offer before they accept a finance offer. Yes, finance offers are great, but if you can get a cash buyer, that buyer usually can close within 10 to 14 days. They don't worry about getting an appraisal for the property, and so therefore it's a lot less riskier than going with a finance deal. Yes, people, of course, are financing because not everybody has money to buy with cash, but you do have people coming in from California. You got people coming in from New York and from Florida who are used to higher home prices, and so they're getting more for their houses, and they're coming to Texas buying larger houses and perhaps paying with cash.
It's like Christmas morning when you come to Texas and buy a house. You're
Yes,
like, my
indeed.
goodness.
Yes, indeed.
And you got some left over.
That's right. That's right. A lot of people out in California may have had anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 square feet for over $400,000 or $500,000. They're coming to Texas, and they can get that same price house, but they can get 4,000 square feet or larger. So,
And I know I'd read an article about people that were moving from California with Toyota to here, that their salaries were remaining the same. In other words, they weren't reflecting what the salaries would be comparable to Texas, so they're making California money on a Texas,
And that's a nice thing, and it makes it a little more difficult for the natives that are here or people that have been in Dallas living and working and desiring to purchase homes because perhaps they don't have, the same assets and things to be able to purchase a larger property.
Yeah,
and
you're
put
right.
down.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Website for you. I just give some contact information.
Yes, my website is GillianCunningham.com, and that's Gillian with the G, Gillian, Cunningham.com. You can also follow me on social media at Instagram and Twitter at Ask Gillian. I'm available to answer any questions you may have about real estate, as well as on Facebook at PrestigeRealty.GillianCunningham.
I love it. Gillian with the G. When I first met you, I was like, the origin on that is British.
It is a British name.
Is your folks British?
No, they are. My dad was in the Air Force, and I was born over in England, and so
Look at you.
hence the name Gillian. It was a little challenging growing up, but I'm glad to have it now.
There's no British accent for you, though. That's
No British accents.
Does your dad have one, or your mom? No.
No. My siblings had it when they were growing up
Oh, that's
initially,
funny.
but yeah,
That's
they
awesome.
soon lost it.
Good
Yes.
story. Well, we'll continue this conversation on the other side of the break. Plus, if you're in the mood to go see some live music, we got that covered for you. We got all the information you need to know about Atrolia. Hope I said that right. Atrolia. No. Atrola. There you go. Atrola. There you go. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more on the other side of the break. Stick around.
This is 620 AM, KEXB, your experts in business.
All right, let's talk some more real estate. Gillian Cunningham joins us on the show. Now, we kind of got off on the right foot, I think. Okay, so going into summertime, and now we're wrapping up April, going into May, people start to kind of think, okay, well, maybe I should list my house. What are some of the first things they should do in preparation of saying, okay, let's list the house?
What I tell sellers is that how you live in a house is not how you sell a house. That's first of all.
Thank
So
God, because I've seen some of the houses that I've gone into as friends, or I've seen them on Facebook posts, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, will you pick up the clothes off the floor?
I agree 100%. And so with that in mind, I typically tell clients to go through, and let's go through and declutter. You have a very large home, but people can't appreciate the size of your home because of all the things that you have in your closets and on
Look
the
at the way
shelves.
you spun that. I love your clutter, but it doesn't really actually show the size of your house.
Yes, that's very important. And then another thing I tell them is they need to depersonalize. And what that means is taking it out a lot of their personal photos, their family photos, things of that nature, and maybe some of their personal artwork, because I tell people when someone comes in the house, we want them to visualize themselves living in the house and not think about who currently lives there. So let's go through and depersonalize. The next thing I tell them that they want to do is neutralize. It's okay to have different colored rooms when you live in the house. That's okay for you personally. But when you sell a house, the only rooms we really want to have colored are your children's rooms. People, when they come into the house, they want the house to be move-in ready. So that means maybe neutralizing some of the walls. Their popular colors now are blues and grays and maybe some of the beiges and things. They need to go through and neutralize. And it may even mean with some of the wallpaper that they have, take down some of that wallpaper. A lot of it's outdated.
Yeah, but please tell me people don't still have wallpaper up.
Yes, they do, but actually wallpaper's coming back, but not the florally prints. It's
Okay.
some of the larger prints and things that are really becoming popular in homes. Another thing I tell people is if they're hunters and they live out maybe in McKinney or Prosper and some of the other areas, they may have stuffed animal heads. And that sort of thing can be offensive to people and scary to some children, or
Scary to me.
Right.
I'm an
and
old man.
Sometimes people think too they are a fan of particular sporting teams. Sometimes, believe it or not, I
never
might
thought
have to
about
tell
that.
them they may have to take down some of their sports paraphernalia
like
because that may be a turn off to some people.
I didn't shop at Home Depot for the longest time because of Tony Stewart. Didn't like him at all, so I didn't go to Home Depot.
Right. Another thing I tell people is if you're selling your house, you really want to go through and have your home inspected. And people say, well, why should I do a pre-listing inspection? Doesn't the buyer do that? And I say, well, yeah, buyers do inspect the property, but I want you as a seller to be able to operate from a position of strength. I want you to know what's going on with your home before anyone else ever finds out. And so, therefore, you have the opportunity to decide if you want to repair it, and so that the buyer never knows about it, or you can just get quotes and say if it's an issue for the buyer, you've already got some quotes so that you aren't throwing money at it when the buyer brings it to you.
Yeah, I had to fix the foundation. My last house I sold.
Yes.
$8,000, I think is what it was.
Yeah, and in Texas, I mean, that's very common because we're on clay soil. And so, yes, I mean, you may have to go through and you may have to fix your foundation. You may have to change out light fixtures, something as simple as painting your front door or putting a few flowers around the front door, because curbside appeal is the first impression that people have when they come to your home.
I agree. Gillian Cunningham joins us on the phone, in the studio. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so now let's say you're looking to buy a house. So what should the steps be if I want to buy a house?
Okay. If you're looking to buy a house, as you know, most people are already going out to the internet and looking for properties, and that's all fine and good, but you really, really should hire a real estate agent. And the reason why I say you should hire a real estate agent, because as a buyer, you don't pay the fees for that agent. You receive the expertise and the knowledge and the negotiating skills of that real estate agent and information about the area, but you don't pay for it because the seller or the builder pays for that. So first, get you a real estate agent. Once you get a real estate agent, you also want to go ahead and get pre-approved for financing. As I mentioned, if you're purchasing a property that's really any property in the Metroplex, you really want to get pre-approved so that you know exactly what it is you qualify for.
That is very important because a lot of people say, oh, I've done this online mortgage calculator thing. I know I can afford a house like this, but until the credit bureaus say and the lending institutions say, yes, you're qualified. I know all about that. I tried to years ago, 2006, tried to do my mortgage for some .com company, and it was an absolute nightmare. I'd found the house I wanted and almost lost it because I couldn't get everything approved in time. Finally, the other realtor on that side said, look, we're pulling the deal unless you go to my lender today at 5 o'clock. The deal is off. Yeah. And I went with my tail between my legs, squealing like a little puppy. And I went and did. And 2 days later, pre-approval, boom, done.
Yeah, a lot of people want to go onto the internet to get a internet lender because of the rates and things, and they think they're getting a great deal. But really, if you can get a local lender, someone here that you can actually see or touch or talk to, I mean, the deal usually goes a whole lot smoother. So definitely, you want to get pre-approved for financing. And you have people who say, I don't think I can get approved for finance because I don't have enough money to put down as a down payment. Well, what people don't realize is you can get a home for as little as 3.5% down.
Thank you.
3.5% down. And then if you're a veteran, you can get 100% financing.
And there are some really creative ways. I had a mortgage guy tell me not too long ago. There was certain companies that would give you $8,000 towards your down payment. So let's just say you only had $20,000 down that you could put in cash. They put the $8,000. That actually buys you more house or gets you qualified into house based upon your income levels. So there's a lot of special programs available.
There are options out there, and people really just contact a real estate agent. An agent will put you in touch with people that they know as lenders and things who can talk to you about various programs that are out there for you.
Yeah, because definitely, I keep telling myself this is a hot market, and you and I both live in the same area, and I have seen houses on my street go up 60,000, they go down 40, they go up 30. I mean, it's fluctuating, and now is the time. We're wrapping up April, going into May.
Yes.
School's out. This is when people pull the trigger on properties.
That's very much so. Typically between April and September, that's the most popular time throughout the nation that people buy houses because they're looking to get their children out of school and get them back into a home before school starts.
Number one thing people ask you that they want in a home is what? I am looking for a home that has...
Most people are saying they want a home just so that they don't have neighbors and common walls and things, and so they want yard space.
Okay.
They want yard space. They love to have a pool. Not every house in the Dallas Metroplex has a pool. Most people want a pool. If they don't have a pool, some of the homes have subdivisions that have community pools.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
That's what I have. I don't like to take care of it.
Right. Then you don't have to pay those extra bills for the pool heating and cooling and water and all that other stuff. And then you have people who want some of the wood floors, or they want, granite countertops or quartz countertops, things of that nature. So most people are looking, well, women, not all women, but some women want closet Can they have a large kitchen and a
Can
large closet?
Can I get a closet too? That's all I'm saying.
You probably don't need quite as much space as most people do.
You'd be surprised. I need stuff for my hair products.
Yes.
I need my own bathroom.
Okay, well, you can have your own sink on that side.
But do they look for that? They want closet space?
Yes, people are looking for closets. Women are looking for closet space. And again, people are really looking for entertaining space, so large kitchens and things of that nature. Something that's becoming really popular is media rooms on the first floor instead of on the second floor.
Interesting.
Because media rooms on the second floor are really just another glorified game or playroom for your children.
Yep.
So they're wanting media rooms on the first floor, as well as there's something called the multi-generational home, in which you may have your parents or in-laws living with you, and if they do, they can have their own apartment within your house that has their own separate kitchen, their own utility room, and all that.
All about that.
So yes, those
Mom
are
and Pop,
options.
come on in, because you're going to pay me rent.
Well, that's what some of them are doing. Yes. But
I'm not that evil.
Right. But there are lots of different options out there, and things are really changing in the housing market.
And garage space for me is huge. Because I got toys, and I want to put them places.
Yes. It's nice to have 3-car garages, and a lot of builders are doing 3-car garages. It just depends on where you are in the metroplex.
There you go. Good stuff there. Gillian Cunningham. The website, once again.
The website is GillianCunningham.com, and that's Gillian with a G, Gillian, Cunningham.
There you go. I love it. We'll continue this conversation the 5 o'clock hour as well, if you just caught us. But the Atrola Music Festival, I did say that right? Yes. The Atrola Music Festival is happening on May the 6th down there at Reunion Tower. I've got all the details, and I got some music coming up on all, I want to get that Atrola Music Festival on. We'll do that when we come back. Stick around.
620 AM, KEXB. Experts in business in North Texas.
All right, we're back. Time to talk real estate. That was fun talking about music, though, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Brings back a lot of memories.
Yes, it does. Gillian Cunningham joins us on the show. Gillian Cunningham Realty Group. It's, I guess, the name of your company.
Yes.
Love real estate. That's what you do?
Yes, it is.
Always wanted to be a real estate agent?
Well, I can't really quite say that. I actually started out my career in mechanical engineering and business, and I opted back in the early 2000s. Yeah. I opted in the early 2000s, left corporate America in 2005, and opted to start investing in real estate. And so from that, I met someone who was a real estate broker and a mortgage broker, and because of an experience that I had, which was an unfortunate experience, I thought, wow, if this happened to me, what's happening to other people out there? So, yeah, I decided to get into real estate to really help educate and empower people when it comes to real estate.
You'd be surprised how many, you talk about, there's bad people in every profession. I'm not talking about bad about breaking the law, but just bad with customer service, follow through, just presentation, communication.
Yes.
And you identified that and said, wait a minute, these people are making a living selling houses. If I up my customer service, I ought to be killing it.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. I thought, yeah, this is someplace that I think that I can really make a mark on the industry. So yes, indeed.
Wow. All right. Well, we're glad you're here. And we kind of, if you missed it in the 4 o'clock hour, we're really talking about how hot, and this is not new news, but just how hot that DFW marketplace is with real estate. And yes, the housing values, I wish I would have bought 5 years ago. Because,
yes.
And you moved here 20 years ago, and you've lived in Frisco, or moved from Frisco to where I live, McKinney, 16 years ago. You saw that when 121 was a 2-lane road.
Yes.
And whose bright idea was that, by the way, to make that a tollway?
Well,
it's
just probably the state and all the people that are making money off of that toll road.
Yes,
so,
they are.
Yeah,
yes,
everybody's coming out to Frisco and McKinney. Unless you come up to 75, you're going to be paying a toll.
That's it. You're paying a toll.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that whole, when you go up Preston Road, north of the toll road, you go up to like a Main, make a right. There's a lot of open fields there. But just take a good picture at that, because it's not going to be like that very long.
I would agree 100%.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
The owners of that land are really just kind of holding out so that they can make as much money as possible. And when the price is right, they will sell that as well.
They will sell that, because it seems like they're always grading land up there.
They are. They
start moving dirt around.
Yeah. It's one thing when you live in Frisco and McKinney or Plano, it's nothing to see cows and Longhorns walking around and everything. So you wonder, am I in the city? Am I in the country? Am I in the city? Am I in the country?
I like it because even like downtown McKinney is a great little historical square, and I love to do that.
They've got some great restaurants in
Oh,
downtown
sure do.
McKinney.
Go down there. And Frisco's got a great little downtown area.
Yes, it does. It does. It does. I mean, then you got Jerry's World over there. You got the largest soccer stadium in the world in Frisco, and we've got the minor league baseball and D-League basketball, and so we've got a lot of great things going on in that area.
A lot of stuff going on. You got a great mayor.
Yes.
Mayor.
That's right. That's right. Mayor.
Good stuff there. So if you're getting ready to, if you're thinking, you know what, maybe we should sell. Like school's going to be out here in a month or so, and maybe the market's right. How does somebody, would somebody be able to call you and say, just let us test the water of what you think our house is worth?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to assist clients in, finding out what's going on, what the value of their home is relative to other homes that are out there on the market. So definitely, they can give me a call. I've got 469-269-ASK-G, A-S-K-G, so 469-269-ASK-G, or you can email me at ask@gilliancunningham.com, and I'd be more than happy to run comps on your property and see what the value is.
Are people surprised sometimes when you do run comps and they realize that, wow, I actually have my house is worth more than I thought?
People are quite amazed because we've seen some significant jumps in appreciation in our area. So yes, indeed. Typically, we normally would see in this area maybe 3 to 5%, but we're seeing way more than that on different price points in the marketplace. So yes, people are averaging some good appreciation in our area.
And we were just talking about how surprised we are to see the construction go up as fast, as rapidly as they are. Like even uptown around McKinney and all those bars down there, and they just pop up. I mean, it seems like 90 days later, there's a new one up.
Yes. If there's a vacant piece of land, chances are there will be something new built on that in the next year or so.
Yeah. I heard one guy saying that he had heard that the Star right there in Frisco, 10 years from now, will be literally the center of DFW. In other words, the amount of growth that's pushing up to Prosper, Salina, and I guess some of those other communities, the Star will be the center of DFW. And I think that's kind of a big statement, but I don't see it too far behind.
I don't find that very hard to believe because there's still a lot of vacant land up there that they can build on, and they're going out past Frisco to Prosper and Salina. And so, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity up in those areas.
Yeah, and I could see, DFW could go straight to the border, straight to the Oklahoma border. I mean, it's like, Sherman, we're just going to jump right over you and just keep going.
Yes, indeed.
Which is funny because at one point I had some opportunities to kind of do some work up in that area. I thought, when you look at the map where I'm sitting in McKinney, I can actually get to Sherman quicker than I can get to downtown Dallas.
Yes, you can.
And it's a much easier, trust me, the traffic, there's a much easier drive.
I've done it as well.
I'm not touching the brakes going north. I'm touching the brakes going south.
No, and I actually have a client who's buying a house in Denison. So they're going even farther. So yes, indeed, there are opportunities. And for those who are getting priced out of the marketplace, you have a lot of first-time home buyers that we talked about. And some of them would like to be able to buy homes $150,000, $175,000. We just can't find those here in the McKinney, Plano, Frisco area, so they're having to go farther north in order to find those properties.
And I think even when you go north to find those properties, to be honest with you, it's to get back down to Frisco and McKinney, it's not that bad of a drive. You know what I'm saying? It's a 15, 25-minute drive.
So.
Very much so, because you're not as congested. Now, you take, 75 and 121 and go south. I don't care. Right now, if I had a traffic cam, it's going to take you an hour and a half sometimes to go into downtown.
Right. It's amazing because about 5 or 6 years ago, I used to think, Dallas is kind of still has a small town feel to it. But I tell you, about 5 or 6 years ago, we started to really take off, and now we are truly a big city. Rush hour used to start at 4:30. Now rush hour starts at about 3 o'clock, and then at lunchtime on Fridays.
What the hell happens at lunch around 12 o'clock in the
Fridays,
city?
Yes,
on
indeed.
Fridays?
Yes,
or
everyone.
I'm just saying, like, at 2:30, 3 o'clock, this mass exodus from 75 northbound just jams up. And then I don't know what they're doing with the HOV lane going southbound on 70. It's a trash dump right now. It's got you know what I'm talking about. It's got all kinds of litter. I mean,
but then you pay to get on the toll road, and it's a parking lot.
It's a parking lot. I don't get. Well, I don't. I avoid tolls. They bill me. Trust me, they bill me.
I'm sure.
And you pay it, but I don't want to get on the tolls every day.
Yes.
So what if like when people come to you and they say, I'm looking for a house that has what? Like, what is in demand right now that comes to you, Gillian? And like,
Well, there was a time when a lot of people were really looking for the large mega mansions, but now people are kind of backing off of that. They want greener homes, more energy efficient homes. They're looking for properties really somewhere around between 3,000 to maybe 3,500 square feet, and they're wanting them to be more energy efficient. They are, stainless steel appliances are still very popular. Granite countertops, quartz countertops are very popular. People are still doing some of the distressed woods on the floors, but there's not as super distressed. They're going more so towards the lighter colors on the flooring, and sometimes you can get tile flooring that looks like wood. And it's a lot easier if you have pets and things. And so people are really kind of gravitating towards that. People are also looking at putting textures on the walls. It's not just the regular paint and everything on the walls. They're also looking at maybe putting wood on the walls or some sort of paneling, and they're putting tile on the walls and everything.
it's a beadboard.
Yes.
I love beadboard.
Yes, indeed. They're doing the beadboards and all that. So it's really interesting. And people are streamlining some of the cabinets and things. And I'd say most of the people that are probably 45 and up, they're kind of liking more the traditional type wood fixture. But a lot of millennials are looking at straighter lines, cleaner lines, whites, and things of that nature. And so, yeah, it's an interesting time out there.
I just want a hot tub in my bedroom is what I want. I want to swim. I always wanted a hot tub in the bedroom. I don't know why. And I want a fireplace in the bedroom, too. Is that too much to ask for?
Were you thinking about someplace up north?
Yeah, really. It'd be fun. And I'm also about outdoor living.
Yes.
Outdoor patio.
The outdoor kitchens are very popular. They're very popular. People are doing the grills and the smokers and all that, and so they're doing the pergolas, and so yes, indeed.
And granite's so affordable. So if you want to sell your house and you got, God forbid, you got Formica or whatever, tear that stuff up and get some. And granite's pretty affordable.
Yes, granite is very affordable. A lot of people though are kind of steering away from granite now because they are concerned about some of the maintenance, and so people are going towards quartz and marble. So those are becoming very popular as well.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Gillian Cunningham joining us on the show. The website for you once again is
GillianCunningham.com, and that's Gillian with a G.
Oh, I like that. That's Gillian with a G. That's your tagline there. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll continue to talk about real estate. We got some other stuff in the news. I know you didn't have that unicorn frappuccino, but I'm going to give you the secrets of why that thing was so successful. They knew what they were doing over there at Starbucks. We'll be right back.
Experts in business throughout North Texas.
All right, we are back. 5:34 on this Tuesday afternoon. We'll continue our conversation about real estate, but I want to switch gears here real quickly. Gillian, I know I asked you don't drink coffee, but you were aware of the Starbucks Unicorn Frappuccino.
I had heard about it, yes.
Okay,
indeed.
so big. Did you hear about it like on social media or your friends are talking about it?
I saw it actually on TV and social media.
Well, it was overwhelmingly huge. It was a big success for the company. Matter of fact, Adriatica Starbucks that's near our house sold out first day. All the supplies they had for this 5-day run sold out in one day, and they're not the only store to do that. So it was overwhelmingly a huge success. But some marketing people are really giving them props, and they've found the secret of how these kind of bizarre food options become so popular. Compare this to KFC's Double Down, that's the sandwich that was used as fried chicken as bread, and Taco Bell's original Doritos Locos Taco, which, by the way, I cannot get enough of, the Cold Ranch and the other one, the spicy hot one. And then Pizza Hut's, their pizza with a hot dog stuffed crust as like the filler. These bizarre foods get the attention of the American consumer. Think about it for a second. When you watch some of these reality shows, you watch because you never know what's going to happen. Dancing with the Stars, you watch because someone might fall. Or you watch some of these other shows, and you're like, what's going on here? That's pretty much what's happening with food. People have this curiosity of these bizarre combinations.
That's amazing.
And I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
When you see these commercials and they go, have a pizza stuffed with sausage cheese, and you go, oh God, I gotta go try it.
Well, you can have my portion.
Yeah, I know you don't eat like that.
No.
But that's what Starbucks does with this unicorn, which, by the way, had no coffee. Did you know that?
No.
It was not a coffee drink. It was just let's just call it what it is, a sugar drink. And from what I understand, it had enough sugar in that one Frappuccino that was equivalent to eating 4 Snicker bars, or your enough sugar intake, I think, for 4 days is what it was. It was ridiculous.
So they were targeting a certain age group?
Well, here's the thing. So here, I'm glad you brought that up, because you saw a lot of kids buying this thing because it was a unicorn, because the colors were cute, and because they used a filter on Snapchat, okay, which targets a very younger demo. That's who was running out to buy these darn things. It wasn't you and I.
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, I'll be completely honest with you, I'd be a little embarrassed by ordering a unicorn Frappuccino.
A pink drink.
A pink drink. Nothing wrong with pink, but it was like the hype. It'd be like me going out and buying a Cabbage Patch doll. I'd be a little embarrassed to walk around with that. I'd rather walk around with the American Girl doll, to be honest with you, than that. But that's what we're seeing in this marketing when it comes to food. It's like the more bizarre, the better.
And so would you say that Starbucks is really targeting our children now?
Yeah, good point. I got to have you on the show more often. I really think they're pulling in this younger demo. And they've got this premium coffee, which, by the way, I love iced coffee. And they have a cold brew that has a vanilla sweet cream. Oh, it's so good. They blend it in there and they pump the sugar. It's really, really good. And, of course, cold brew is roasted or dripped or harvested or however the name you want to call it overnight. So it's really highly concentrated in caffeine. But that is like for the premium. And then they have these drinks like this. They get the kids in there. And, of course, you have the snacks. You have the coffee cake. You have all the other pastries. That's what they're doing. They're pulling our kids in. I've never seen so many kids drinking coffee. If you go to the mall, go to a Starbucks, hang out, you'll see the average age walking in Starbucks is a lot younger than it was just 5 years ago.
Well, it's sort of like the grow with us. I mean, think about when we were growing up, McDonald's. And so we really, I mean, those fries, those McDonald's fries, if you try the fries now, they aren't so great. But for some reason in our mind as we were growing up, those were the best fries yet. So, I mean, that's what they're doing with Starbucks, it sounds like.
That's what they're doing. And there's no other coffee chain or similar coffee category company that's doing this.
Yeah.
I can't name another one. I think Chick-fil-A has a coffee shake. I had that the other day, and it actually is okay, but they're not marketing it to kids. But Starbucks just through it's all about marketing. It's all about marketing, and they recognize if they can get these kids hooked on drinking coffee or hooked on, let's be honest with you, would they rather walk around with a cup of coffee from 7-Eleven, no offense to 7-Eleven, or Starbucks? It's the whole social positioning. Yes. It's, hey, look at me, I have Starbucks, and
well, it's the same with the iPhones versus an Android phone.
Absolutely.
Got to have an iPhone. Got to have an iPhone.
Yeah.
So.
I was an Android guy until I dropped it and cracked it. Now I'm an iPhone guy. Which, by the way, but that's a whole other category. I went to Stonebriar the other day, the Apple store inside there. Mm-hmm. Do they have 100 people working there? Do you realize how many people work in that store?
Yeah, that's
It's
all.
packed.
Yes, always.
I waited an hour and a half for someone to look at a phone to tell me that it's pretty much non-repairable, that you have to buy another one. Apple, God bless them. Now I know how much money. It was packed. We are in the wrong. Well, I'm not in the wrong. You're in the right business. I'm in the wrong business. Because it seems like everyone's buying a house or buying technology, and
they
that's,
are indeed. Yes, indeed. Or they're selling a house.
Oh, they're selling a house. So if someone, and I know you've got to kind of wrap up, but if you get anything out of this conversation, act now. And I don't mean to be a total pitch person for you, but here's the deal. The market's hot. It's going to get hotter. And as we move into summer months, if you're looking to sell your house, maximize the time. It's all about timing on this.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And I sometimes joke about it, and I tell people these are the best of times and these are the worst of times. There's the best of times if you're a seller because you're going to make all kinds of money on your property if you prepare your property. And if you're selling your home, make sure you go out and get pre-approved for financing yourself.
That's it.
Because chances are your house is going to sell pretty quickly and you're going to need to be able to move somewhere else. And so you want to make sure that you're ready to be able to buy the next home. And for buyers, interest rates are as low as they're probably ever going to get again in our lifetime. So we need to go ahead and take advantage of.
What is it still? Is it still like in the low fours?
They are in the low fours.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
indeed.
good. You know what I paid for mine? 6.75 back in 2006.
And you've refinanced it since then, or did you just
No, I sold it. I sold it home.
Okay.
But that's
Yes.
what I thought it was good back then.
Yes, there were times.
And
when
actually,
the
I
rates-
was high on the scale. It was
Yeah.
actually could have been a little lower than that.
But remember there were well, I didn't see it. My parents experienced the 12% interest rates. So
I bet you Jim Blythe there saw some high interest rates. How high? You can scream. I can hear you. It's Jim Blythe, host of Alliance for the Brave.
I had construction loans that hit 26%.
Oh, my word.
How in the world do you pay that
And, you
off?
know, that's what I do is financing.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Specialist in reverse with Homebridge, but I'm part of a great team that does everything.
So you saw interest rates in the 20s, mid-20s.
Oh, yeah, when Jimmy Carter was president, I had $26 million worth of construction loans that were short-term loans, and it went to 21 to 26%. But the way the tax laws were written, we were able to turn around. There was a huge demand for buying those properties, and what they were doing was creating tax shelters thanks to the high interest rates. So we were able to sell them, and we came out of it okay. They changed the tax law, and that was been, again, one of the craters that we ran into.
Yeah. See, when Jim Blythe walks in, you never know when I might pull him on the microphone.
Yes, indeed. I was just thinking when he was mentioning he kind of mentioned something about reverse mortgages, and that's a great opportunity for a lot of those baby boomers to be able to take advantage of reverse mortgages.
That's what your boy does.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
And
By the way, I saw your Facebook post of the example. Yeah, pretty cool.
You like that?
I like it. I read it.
And I closed that yesterday.
Yeah, yep, I read it.
And what I didn't say is that couple got also an additional $9,000 out, and their home was only worth about $119,000. But it's changed their life.
Oh,
it can make a big difference in the life of an individual, having to not have to pay a mortgage and all of that. So it's a great
It's
option.
more than that. It's part of a plan and part of what you can do. And like with the couple we're talking about, she wasn't collecting any Social Security, and I got her to go to Social Security. So she's now collecting half of what his was, even though she never worked. So she's got that, and I set up an escrow for taxes and insurance. So she's got no mortgage payment, $1,000 a month, $700 a month from Social Security that they didn't have, $300 plus a month on taxes and insurance. It gave that family almost double their income by going to the bottom line.
There you go. All right. Stay tuned, by the way, for Alliance for the Brave coming up after the show. Thanks for your input. I like that.
Come back.
There you go. All right, so when we wrap up this segment, ways to contact you once again if you're looking for a real estate agent.
You can follow me on social media at Ask Gillian on Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow me on Facebook at prestigerealty.gilliancunningham or on my website at gilliancunningham.com, and that is Gillian with a G.
There you go, Gillian with the G. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me today.
I gave you a little tip to get back home to your neck of the woods, and hopefully that it works out for you. I know I didn't mean to drag you this late in the show, but you're just so interesting, and, you know.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
I hope you've had time. We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap up this Tuesday. Stick around.